Taco here, welcome back to FTB Infinity. I'm on the new version, I'm on 1.3.1 on the FTB launcher, and if we're looking here, things have changed slightly with Draconic Evolution. I now click on the block to get an accurate charge. You can see there we are still going up, as you'd expect. This is still only half a trillion. It's now Thursday, I think it was last Friday I started this, and that's off two turbines running constantly because the server didn't turn off. This holds a massive amount of power. Of course I am using power as well, so I'm not using a great deal. I'll be using some. Can I quickly fail at opening my bag and get my network tool out and see exactly how much power that guy's using. I think these use quite a lot. Quantum link, 44. Oh, it's an A. Hang on. RF please. 88 RF tick. I'm currently using 1430 RF tick by the look of it, and I've got 33 mega RF stored because of all the storage up here. This, by the way, I turned off. I put a toggle latch just there. It's the facades actually, because I've got that in my bar, of course. I've put a toggle latch just under there because this was drawing 600 RF a tick for no reason. And once I've got all my power going, I will just waste energy for the sake of it, because that's kind of the purpose of this series. But until I do that, I'm going to have that turned off. I will have that turned on at some point. As you can see, I've been doing a bit of building. I've built the other 3 reactors. I've not built all the turbines yet though, but I've built the other 3 reactors. They've not connected to the network yet, and they've not got fuel in them, but they are built and ready to go. Using all the same design. I'll stress again, this isn't my design. This is a design off a spreadsheet that produces 4,000 millibuckets of steam per tick. It can actually, that's with it set at 38. With it set on, I think one of my commenters let me know, with it set on like 2 or 3%, it can actually run 3 turbines. It produces 6,000. So you could actually run 3 turbines off each one of these reactors. But I like the way it looks. It's a kind of design thing as well as a useful thing. So that's that build. I do have the materials to build most of this. I've just not got around to it. But I did some of this yesterday between recording other series. So yeah, we're still just running on that one. As far as Uranium goes and uranium, we've still got quite a lot. If we're looking here, I've been making some stuff. I'm going to get. This episode's going to kind of follow last episode. It's going to do a little bit of a auto crafting talk at the beginning, and then we're going to move back into the bees. But if we look at my uranium stock, we're down to 1,049 uranium. We've got no uranium ore left. I've started processing Uranium ore now, which we've got 5,000 ore, so I've got plenty. And I have been processing, as said last time, all the remainder of my redstone ore through a upgraded pulverizer to get as much of this cinnabar as I can before I stop actually having ore, because I am doing things off bees. I will not have any ores. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Can't quite fit 4 in there. Okay, what we should have in here is loads more Uranium. Things are all semi-manual at the minute, just because of the way I'm doing things. I have to put up with that for a while. Will be all fully automated once I get things where I want them to be. But at the minute, it's all a little bit haphazard, let's say. Put that Uranium in there. So as you can see, I've got loads of fuel, so I don't actually have to get the fuel bees up and going. What I wanted to do though was I wanted to make sure I had the fuel bees ready in case I started getting low on power and low on fuel. But I don't think I'm in any kind of rush for that, so that's good. I can focus on a couple of other things. So we should be making another spatial cell, or 3 or 4 very soon. One for my processing, because all this is just temporary. One for getting a start on blood magic, certainly. But, right, one thing I've done slightly different. Last episode, this is something I never really understood with AE2, so it's something that I've been missing, so I thought I'd best explain it in case you watch how I've been doing it and been copying how I do it. Now, I've not actually got any core processors yet. All I've got for crafting is just this one crafting storage. Of course, last series I had plenty of core processors, and they never really seemed to be doing anything for me, and they wasn't doing anything for me because it was the way I had my molecular assemblers set up. I had them each set up so that there was only touching, so that each interface was only touching one molecular assembly. So I changed this around a bit. If you remember last episode, I had 8 in a circle with 4 assemblers around each. I changed that around. I actually put it so I had 8, blah, blah, blah. I had quite a lot in a circle, and I didn't like the way it looked. And then I generally browse a couple of other people's videos now and again, and I was watching one of the Hypnotize videos, and I saw the way he had his setup, similar to this, but he had crafting unit, 3 core processors, and then a little stack like this, and I like the way it looked, so I've kind of gone with that. And also, one of my commenters let me know that if I do it like this, what happens is, if there's a pattern in that one, the way I've been doing it, so the way I was set up before, yeah, I had 1, and I had 4 things set around it. There was a small one, but they're set around like that. So if I had a pattern in this, which had subcomponents, it could only send to this thing because it's not touching any others. So even if I had core processors, which can deal with subcomponents, I was not utilising the core processors because of the way I had my main interface set up. You guys probably knew this, but this is something I didn't know. So it's only from looking and realising what I was doing wrong. So because now, if that same pattern's in this one, say, and it's crafting something and there's subcomponents and I've got core processors, then as well as touching that interface, it's also touching these two, so it can put the subcomponents into these two. I suppose I should make a couple of patterns just to show. I just wanted to put this last one together. So basically what I've got is, it's nice and straightforward. It's just a little pattern, because I kind of like the way it looks as well. A little pattern of assemblers and interfaces. So each assembler is touching at least 3 interfaces and vice versa. Some are touching 4, the ones in the middle, but the ones on the outsides are touching 3. So you can see there, that interface is touching 1, 2, 3 assemblers. That assembler is touching 1, 2, 3 interfaces. Then the middle ones, this one of course is touching 1, 2, 3, 4 interfaces. So that's going to give me a lot more leeway with stuff. So what I should do really quickly is make some core processors. Let's do that. I think I'm in NEI search. I am. So core processors. So for that I'm going to need some crafting units. So let's have 1, 2, let's have 3 of them, and then let's make that into 3 of them. And then if we put these around this thing, it will become a multi-block. So the trick with these is they have to be some kind of cuboid. So that is of course a cuboid. I could have gone up, I could have gone a single row, but as long as it's cuboid in shape, it'll work. So we've got 3 core processors there, and now I'm actually going to make some things in here. So let's go with welding reaction upgrades. That'll do. So world. So for that I need to craft a few things. I need to be able to craft sticks, which means I need to be able to craft logs. So let's go with, okay, that becomes that becomes that, and then pick, so I've got 3 patterns there, and then an actual welding interaction upgrade itself, which I'll probably have to make a pick for. There we go, so 4 patterns. If I jump up here, in fact, not jump up here at all. In fact, yeah, I don't want to jump up there. I could use my pattern terminal there, but I actually want to put these in specific ones here just so I can show you. So I'm going to go with 1, 2, 3, 4, let's say. And now I should be able to request 64 of them. Ah, well, I changed that to base 8 on my. I did it in the server, I didn't do it in the client. Damn it. So let's ask for a stack of them. If we jump up there really quick, we should see it utilising different stuff. See there? Look, so we're getting them built in 2 different ones there by the look of it. That one's making sticks as well. Oh look, there we go, it's actually using. So the pattern for this is in here, and it's using all 3 of them, so it makes things a lot quicker. but that's how you actually utilise core processors. So the other builds I've done in Resident Rise and in Feed the Beast Direwolf was not actually utilising all the core processors that I had, which was a failing on my part, so I apologise if anyone has done the same as me based on what I did, because I was feeding you down the wrong path. But now though, we're all good. I put a filter on that, I don't know if I told you, because it kept sucking things up. Do you remember it sucked up 2 singularities and destroyed them? I've stopped that just by taking out the storage thing there. There we go, we've got another 32 in there to finish it off. We've got nearly 2 octuple. I'm going to be doing something with that pretty soon. Just not in a big rush for it. Well, let's have another 10, 20, 30, 1, 2. I will go into my config and change that. So it comes pretty quick. There we go. And that is now fully upgraded. And getting cobble as quick as it humanly possibly can. Well, no, that's a lie. I could have another stack in there, but there's the danger of it sucking things up. I don't want it to suck up, so yes. There you go. Right, so that's a little bit of auto crafting done. Let's get on with the bees then. I've done a lot of work with the bees. I've still got my centrifuge up here. As you can see, I have got simmering combs. Simmering combs give me this phosphor stuff. Phosphor, we can use a squeezer, combine it with sand to make lava. I actually though, I might just bin it. This seems like a waste because there's all that phosphor, and I am actually producing lava using RF, aren't I? Using this lava fabricator. So I probably, yeah, I'll set something up in a while for that, but at the minute, as you can see there, I've got some products. I've got some royal jelly and some pollen. They're from the Industrious and Imperials that I mentioned last episode. So anyway, there's no more bees in here. I've actually got everything running in the spatial cell. So let's jump into here. And not a great deal's changing here, but I've done a lot of work that I need to talk you through. And then we're going to do a little bit of breeding. So what I've got in here is, I made some more filing cabinets. What I've done, I've started putting these separate to where they're from. So we've got bees from forestry. So these are vanilla forestry bees. So austere, common, cultivated, demonic, diligent, fiendish, forest, frugal, imperial, majestic, meadows, noble, sinister, and unwary, and wintry. So some of them are mundanes, some of them are from the demonic branch, which are the ones that go up to demonic, and some of them are from the austere branch, which I think austere might be the top of them. Is it austere the top, or is frugal the top? But that's a branch that comes from the modest bees, the desert ones, and we need them for other bees. So there's my forestry bees I've done. Extra bees, I've been working on some of these. So the frugal lets me go towards relic. Relic as by default as the longest lifespan, which is why I wanted relic. And then resilient, robust, tolerant. They're ones that they're based off the rocky ones, and they're the base bees. The resilient ones are the base bees for all our metallic bees that we'll be getting into. And then of course I've got unstable, which is one we need for nuclear. So I'll quickly show you the recipes for these. Then gendistry bees. Gendistry actually adds colour bees that do colour drops, and these bees have some really good traits. I started working towards, if you look at fastest, so fastest production, there we go, you see that they come from cyan, light blue, lime, magenta. Magenta is the one I made, it got me fastest production. I was actually working towards, oh, pink's got it as well. I was working towards windy air bees. Why was I working towards air bees? Fastest worker, yeah, that's fastest as well. Look, I was working towards air bees, which are from magic bees, and then it was after that I realised that the colour ones I did, and the colour ones was easy to get to. So I've got some of the magic bees in there. That's we'll be getting to them because that's going to make us our shards from Thaumcraft and stuff. So I've got some magic bees made anyway. Didn't need them in the end because all the stats I wanted were on these either pink or magenta or blue. So I'll show you how we get all these. So all the bees I've got so far, let's have a quick look. Unstable queen there comes from an austere and a rocky. So austere is a vanilla bee, vanilla forestry bee. And austere is the top of the modest chain. So modest and frugal is austere, frugal is modest and something, modest and sinister. There we go. and then modest of course is from a hive. Sinister is a modest and a cultivated. So you see these go back to the desert branch. So that's our unstable. What we need our unstable for is that's going to combine with rusty, which is one of our first metallic bees, and that's going to give us nuclear, which is going to give us our uranium. Very nice. So that's unstable. And then other bees I've gone for, of course the vanilla ones, is the imperial I showed you before, and the industrious, that's the top of the line of the vanilla ones. So I've got them too. And then I went along the rocky branch. So rocky is spread with loads of things. Rocky is like the base of most of the extra bee stuff. So if we look, it's got 9 pages of stuff. But we went robust, and then from robust to resilient, and then from resilient to resilient's the top one here. So I've got to resilient, so that's going to get me the corroded, rusty, and all the other metal stuff. Lead, lapis, silver, gold, and all that stuff. No, silver and gold might be actually the next level up. But I've got rocky, and what else have we got? So anyway, the other thing I've been working on is all the stats. Right. So we've got demonic. That's one of our first production bee going on here. Now demonic will actually work in here, even though this is an icy biome. What I can actually do, I've sussed out what I need to put in, is one of these, a plains emulation upgrade, made like so. I'm going to stop showing recipes, show them too much. Plains emulation upgrade, what that does is a biome override. So that, for this apiary thinks it's in a plains biome, because I've got that in there. Our power's gone up a bit, we're at 26, not much still though. And that's automated, so at the minute we're getting glowstone dust, very nice. And simmering combs, now that'll carry on working. I need a dustbin in here. They can go in there for now. So I've got a source of glowstone dust. That's one of the first things I needed because I didn't have any. One of the next bees I need is a source of quartz, which I've not got yet. But we'll be working on that very shortly. What I want to do first though is I want to make sure I've got that nuclear bee sorted. So, right, before we just get on with that, let's look at the stats then. So I've got these 2 genetic templates. I've got that one and that one. They're both 10 of 13. They are both missing species, and they are both missing territory and flowering, because territory and flowering are not important to us. They would be if we was doing forestry trees. They'd help, that'd get us more pollen and stuff. But, as we're not doing forestry trees, we don't need territory or flowering. The difference with these two is, the only difference is that's my production bees, so they've got longest lifespan from fertility 1. So that's what this demonic bee's got. If this had fertility 4, then this would fill up with drones. As it's fertility 1, all that happens is each time this dies, it gets 1 princess, 1 drone that go back into here and form the next one, so you don't have excess bees to deal with. So that's my production setting. So I've got ignores day night true, cave dwelling true, and raining true, so it'll work in any conditions. The flowers are rocks, so I don't need flowers. It's got the fastest production speed and the longest lifespan, so that's most efficient, and it's got the tolerances, so that's all good. And then this is very similar. The only 2 things that are different. This are my breeding ones. This has got shortest lifespan, so they die quicker, and fertility 4, so we get 4 drones per bee. So that's the 2, they're the 2 uber stats templates. So then all we need to do is collect the templates from the species, and then I can make any species bee and give it these stats really quickly, which is very nice. So what I'm going to do now is I've got a Meadows Princess and a Resilient drone. As I said, the Resilients are the base for all the metal ones, so we can now combine these together. Meadows is of course just a mundane. We can get our first Rusty Queen. That's going to produce that for us. I'm just going to put this production one back for a second. I'll show you how I've been processing these. So there we go, we've got a Rusty Queen. I'll put that in here. Not going to work probably. It's going to work, okay. Make me a liar. Let's check its stats. So these are actually pretty good stats for this place. So it's normal, both 2. I thought I'd need 3 to work in here, because it's icy in here. I thought icy was the coldest. And there we go, that's its stats. So as a standard bee, that's a very nice thing there. It's got a short lifespan. Not very good production wise, and don't produce as much stuff. So the first thing I do with that is I put it through there, because of course one thing it's got there is only 1 fertility. I want more drones out of this. So I'm going to bang that through there. That's going to give the queen, but not its offspring, all these stats, which means it's going to give us 4 drones when it dies. Come on. Come on. There we go. So now that's going to go in there. That's got its lifespan upgrade, so it's going to die as quick as possible. You can actually see there the actual stats. So we're using 24 hour for tick. The production modifier is 170 because it's got fastest production on it. The flowering chance 5%. Don't care about that. Lifespan modifier 2%. Lifespan modifier 2%. Whereas our long one here doesn't show. Why don't you show? Because I've not done the stats on it, I guess. Let's do that. Put that back in. Okay, there we go. Lifespan modifier 70%. So you see, this is going to last a lot longer than that one. Yeah, cool. The next thing we need on this production one, while we're waiting for that to die, is we now need the production upgrades. So, which is this guy. We can have it. It's up to 8 of these. Ah, they use royal jelly. Awesome. So I've actually got a use for royal jelly, which means I need to get an imperial bee up and running. These are alphabetical. I've got no imperial princess, so I'm actually going to just take a random one that I've only got one of. I'll take that magenta because I don't really need that, and I'm going to grab my imperial. There we go. I'm going to make this princess into an imperial, and we're going to get an imperial drone, which I should have. There we go. And it looks like we're going to need some royal jelly, so I should have. I'm going to get these running. So that is going to make that into an imperial, and then I'm going to give it production stats. So I need my other one here. I need that one, so it produces more for us. Facility 1, longest lifespan, that's the one I want. So that and that both go in there, so these both have the best stats, and then I can bang that in there. We can start getting some of that stuff. Right, I'm just going to jump back to the tree. I'm going to use that because it's a little bit cheaper on power. I've been having issues with my mic. It's been making noises. I hope it's not at the minute. It's because I've changed my setup a bit. I'm using a different chair for these last few episodes. I've got 12 of them, so I can make a few. I'm using a different chair than what I've been using. So I'm actually sat at my desk, which I didn't used to be. I used to be sat in like a recliner. But oops, the issue with that is my wire for my mic kept getting in the way when I was typing. So every time I was typing anything, it was knocking it and making noises. I hope it's not doing it now, but I can hear a weird noise in my ear. I hope it's not my mic, but it might be. Production. Production. So what do we need for this? What? Was it think I was trying to cheat him in? I was pressing. What's going on here? Am I in cheat mode? Shouldn't have that there. What mode am I in? Oops. I'm in cheat mode. I didn't think I was opt. Wasn't showing the full stats there, was it? I'm not opt anyway. Weird. Don't know what that was about. Should have them showing up there. I don't think I have permission to use them anyway, but that's, I guess, that came with the upgrade, with the update, I guess. So we have now got a wonderful production pair, which I'll show you really quick. There we go, longest, fastest. No extra drones, and all good stats in there, and that's going to be exactly the same. So we can bang them into another one of these. We'll go with that one. And what we want is the automation upgrade of this. So that'll keep working for us. Now we can work on some of these production upgrades. So what do I need for this then? Oh, An AI search, you're killing me. I've got to type in again now. There we go. Right. So, have I got everything I need for this? I have. So, can I get all 12 of them done? I can get 5 done. Okay, I need some more gears. Tinker's gear. So a stack of them. Say, we're going to need loads of these. So, okay, now what am I missing? I'm missing sugar. That's not sugar, idiot. Okay, so there's 12 of them. That's all royal jelly I had for now. So what I can do with them is these. We'll take 8 of these maximum. What you're going to see is our power's jumped up to 113 hours a tick. What you should see though is our production significantly increase. So even if we stay and watch this, if we come back to this in a minute, it's on 7 at the minute. Come back to that in a bit, it should go up quite a bit. Bang 4 of them in there, that's going to start up in the power on that. But you can see each one of these, once it's up and running properly, you're going to be using. I think that's the only upgrades it's going to need, 8 of them. So that one's a bit extra, because it needs to have that. So about 100 hours a tick each probably. You're up to 9 glowstone dust there. You can see we are going to get loads of stuff, which is very nice. There we go, we have got our rusty and its 4 drones. What I'll do with this is swap that out for the Fertility 4 one, and it's to give the princess and the drone the base stats there so I can get some more drones, and then these 3 I'm going to bang in here. Well, 2 of them I'm going to bang in there and try and get the rusty genome off, and the 3rd one I'll put in there. We're going to combine it with our unstable princess from breeding earlier, and boom, there we go, we've got our nuclear queen. Awesome. I think a nuclear queen is the top of the line. Ooh, radioactive queen. Okay, radioactive queen is the top of the line, and awesome. These are the base ones for yellorium and cyanite as well. Cool. So which is going to be the best for this then? That's going to give me 2% of yellorium comb, which gives me grains. I think it's 4 grains make a dust. So okay, 2 so 4 gets me a dust. And then on the radioactive we get 2% of a comb, which gives me crushed uranium, which gives me a full ingot. So I can just smelt them straight to ingots. So yeah, the radioactive ones are much better than the yellorium ones, it seems. I can get even more if I do some IC2 stuff. So I'll certainly be going with the radioactive one then. That'll give me 50% chance. Let's double check. What did the yellorium one give on the centrifuge part? Oops. Yellorium gives, where is it? Products. 2%, and then in the centrifuge, that's a 25%, so that's less there as well. So yeah, the radioactive one's certainly better than the yellorium one. So for that, I need a glittering. And glittering is quite advanced. Glittering is the advancement from shining, I think. Oh man, I'm getting confused. Glittering and shining equals valuable. How do I get glittering? Press R, not U. Corroded and imperial. That's not too bad, because I can make corroded now, because corroded is resilient and forest. So I guess that's my next ones I need then. So have I got any resilience in here? I have got 1. Get forest drone. There we go. So that's our next step. So you can see now I'm at this stage, it all comes pretty quick. Now I'm making it a little bit slower. There we go, we've got a corroded. I'm making it a little bit slower because each time I do this, they can go in there. We've not got the rusty yet, have we? Tolerance, no. Tolerance, no. So we'll put them in there, let that cycle, and we want our automation upgrades in them. I've not got enough automation upgrades. They're in use, okay, doesn't matter. So we've got that in there. What I need to do now is put these queens through them same stats, do the same thing as done with the rusty, get some drones, pull the species off there and then make them into production ones, or do whatever's next. I'm going to get these ones sorted, and I should be back for the next step. My bees have been very well behaved. I was about to make some more automation upgrades, but I've actually got all 3 of these already, so I can take these out of here. Rusty will become a production bee, of course, because it gets us. Come on, Rusty, what are you doing? I'm pressing the wrong bloody button again. Christ, what's wrong with me? I was pressing R then. Rusty gets us iron combs. Iron combs can be give us iron grains once we go from the centrifuge, and 4 iron grains gives an iron dust, which of course can be smelted into iron ingot. Wonderful. So this is going to be a production bee, so I'm going to keep that to one side. I'm actually going to give that the stats. So we just need, for now, just need one and one of them. So I'll keep that to one side for a bit, and we'll make that into a production stat bee. This nuclear bee we're going to combine in a minute with a glittering when we get one. So what else have we got in here? We've got corroded. Okay, so I've got these rusty, nuclear and corroded, which is very nice. It means I can now grab 3 of these and combine them each with that. So I've now got a nuclear template, a rusty template and a corroded template, so they can all be copied at will. Rusty, nuclear, corroded, they're all extra bees, so they can go in there. Blank ones can go back in there. So now what we want is it corroded and imperial gets us a glittering. Corroded, imperial gets us a glittering. Yeah, I thought glittering was higher up than that. But, so I need an imperial drone, corroded princess, imperial drone gets us a glittering, and a corroded is a bee. That's also a production bee, isn't it? Because that's going to get us copper. Copper, yeah. So I actually need another princess of that. So let us just take this. I'll use that pink one. There we go. So I actually need that corroded back. And we'll make a corroded princess. Oh, that pink one. So now I need to do the same again with this. Process this through to get some drones, get its species and that. I'm going to do one more thing on species, and then I'm going to start working out how we're going to actually get the products from this stuff, because we're at the point now where we're going to start having production drones. So the one thing I need to work towards is the other thing I'm missing, which is quartz. So that's a bee I need to get on. I actually need it more than the nuclear one, to be honest, but I wanted to make sure I had, like I said, I wanted to make sure I had the capability of getting the nuclear one. So we're going to go with, there's these mellow combs, give you 30% chance, but then there's these certus combs that give you certus quartz dust and nether quartz. But if you look at where these come from, they come from a bee. Where do you come from? Ah, there we go. They come from a bee that also produces mellow. So you can see here what we want is a quantum bee, because it produces certus combs, shimmering combs and mellow combs. 5%, 25. This is the best one. So the quantum bee is the next bee we're aiming for. This is a different path completely, spatial and spectral. So hermetic. Oh, hermetic. That means I need to go and find an NPC villager, bee villager, and buy I think a monastic princess. Monastic. Yeah, they only come from bee villagers. So I'm going to have to go find a bee villager for this next part and back. But I'll get this glittering and nuclear sorted, so then we have actually got our radioactive bee. I'll get these set up for production, and I should be back in a bit once I've got a monastic drone from a villager. Okay, I just got really lucky. I got a bee villager. I turned on my spawner here with one of my other, remember, my 2 villagers from up there. They're now in here, and the first one that spawned was a bee villager. So let's see if we get lucky with our trades. I need some wheat for him first. Where is he? Where did I put him? There he is. So his first trade is wheat for simmering combs. Hello, guy. So we'll do that trade till it stops letting me. There we go. And then you should open up a new trade, and that's wood. Does it have to be oak? I ain't got any oak. Damn it. Wood for apiaries. I'll get some oak sorted. Okay then, I've decided to move away from bees for the rest of this episode. I'm going to do something slightly different. What I've got here though is I've got 9 apiaries, all with production bees at the minute. So I've got golden combs, silver combs, radioactive combs. Not that many of them, but we'll see how that works out. Simmering and all this glowstone from the Draconic there. All this royal jelly and dripping combs from the Imperial. We've got copper combs, we have got iron combs, and at the end I just did that one as well because that was from the shiny and the glittering that we already had. So I did that final bit of breeding off camera there. And we've got platinum combs, which is awesome because that, of course, gives us platinum grains, which becomes shiny. So I've got a source of shiny ingots, which is very nice. None of this is automated yet. That's something I need to deal with in a bit. I've sorted these out. So there's my gene samples, my blank templates, and my oooh templates, let's call them. Forestry bees, extra bees, gendustry bees, magic bees, and then princesses and drones, all in filing cabinets there. And I've just got a load of spare. This is just some of the ones over here. These rocky combs you can just bin because they're useless. They give you a little bit of honey, but it's not really worth keeping. Dripping combs give you honeydew, I think, so they are worth keeping. So this will all be automated, of course, at some point, as the saying always goes. Barren comb also useless, can bin them. So rocky and barrens will be going straight into a trash can once this is automated. There we go. And the way I think I'm going to have it is I'm going to use hexagons because that's what shape bees use. So I think I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20 lots of apiaries on the walls in a hexagon formation all around the walls, and see how that looks. And then my processing using I'm going to need loads of centrifuges to keep up. I think the way I'm going to do it is Ender-IO conduit, because I want to put power in. I want to get materials out, so I could use extra utility stuff, but I also want redstone control. I'm going to do redstone control off triggers, level limiters is what I'm thinking of doing. So yeah, so that is still to be worked out, but it will all be automated, of course. And I want it to be able to turn off. Right, back to the base. What I'm going to do for the rest of the episode, a little bit different. I said I needed oak, and I've got no axe. So rather than just make a normal axe, I thought I'd make a wyvern axe. Turns out there's no such thing as a wyvern axe. There is, however, a draconic axe, which will fell an entire tree or break out a 5x5x5 chunk of anything wood. Hold shift to man a single block. So I'm going to go with a draconic axe. This is going to take us on a little bit of a trip because we need awakened draconium. So that's the first thing we're going to need. For that, if you remember, I did start this early in the series. I've just processed all my draconic ore, so I've got an absolute ton of draconium ingots. We're going to need at least 3 more of them. And remember, this one's charged up. I charged it in a vibrant capacitor. It was a bit slow. What I'm going to do first, before we even start with this, I'll make this guy. Got an energy infuser. I'll make all the bits for that. So what do we need for this then? We need 3 draconic cores. Another one for that. So there's 4 draconic cores. Ooh. Good start. 1, 2, 3, 4. We also, what we're going to need in a bit, well, I'm going to need loads of draconic cores, to be honest. But, I'll make them as I need them. So that lets me make that guy. And then enchanting table. Is that everything? There we go. So there's our first thing, energy infuser. What this does is this will put energy and stuff a lot quicker. Oh, by the way, yeah, I forgot about that. These are limited to power. I was not aware. Someone kindly told me in a comment that these have a max IO of 20,000 hour for tick. That is not ideal. What I should be using is tesseracts, because they have unlimited. Can I quickly make a tesseract? How quickly can I make one? Well, 2, to be honest. I can make that pretty quick. Let me make 2 tesseracts. So I want to do this as hardcore as possible. Hardcore. Okay, I had all the bits to make that, so that was nice. And just getting the frames filled up in here. So to make them was just some glass, which I already had. It was very good. I made some glass. What did I make the glass for? I needed it for something yesterday. What did I need it for? I don't remember. But I needed it for something when I was making the reactors, I think. Right, so we've got 2 of them, and now I can make that into 2 of them guys. Oh, no I can't, I've got no tinker's alloy. Fail. Copper and tin. Yep. Copper and tin into here. Boom, boom. Gonna get some Tinker's alloy. And I'll have to remember to unblock that. They're gonna go there. 1. Come on, slow thing. 2. Cool. Now, I'm hoping I've got nothing else fastened to this. I don't think I have. I think this is the only thing I've got wired to this in a minute. If it's not the only thing, then I may be making a mistake here. But we shall soon find out. So I'm going to drop that guy out of there. I'm going to drop that guy out of there. And we'll see if these guys work instead. So we've got BAM and channel 1, set frequency, and I want it to receive only on power, disable them two, and I want this one to send only on power. So channel 1, send only, turn them off, and hopefully we should keep going. Oh, I like that. That looks awesome. You can see the void through that. So that should keep everything running nice. I don't think I've got anything else connected to them in a minute. And we'll find out, because things will start working if I am running anything else off these dimensional transceivers. My quarry is not running. My quarry is actually down here, in there. So that's not running. So that's okay. That's not running off it. I think I'm good. I think I'm good. So here we go. What I can do now is, actually didn't need to do that at all for this thing. I can fasten that straight to there, I think, and that should get power. It does. Okay. So what I can do in this is I can, I think, yeah, look, put them in there, and this is going to pull power really fast and charge up these draconian blocks. I need 4 of these in total. What I need them for is, I now need my draconic slate. There we go. We need to make, of course, for draconic tools and stuff, we need to make awakened draconium. So we're going to need 5 ingots there, 2 there, another 4 there. We need a load of more wyvern cores. I think that should be alright on that. I'm going to need 1 nether star. I think we're alright on that as well. I might have to rebuild my wither killer. That's currently in bits. I've got 6. Awesome. So yeah, my wither stuff is actually in my bag there. Look, my mob grinder and my dark iron. So this will charge these up really nice and fast. It's got a really good transfer rate on it. So yeah, I didn't need that at all. But I wanted to change that anyway, so that's all good. So yeah, there we go. We've got 2 of them charged now. Looks like we're going to do 1 at a time. This is also really good for charging up tools and stuff, because it does things really fast. So I'll get them 4 charged up. What we're going to do, what we can be looking at in the meantime is, what we're doing here is we want to do the, what do we want to be doing here? It's not that one. It's not that one. Charge draconian block using the ritual draconic resurrection. Yeah, but we don't need it for that. What I want is awakened draconic items. Okay. Draconic energy card. Oh, come on. What am I looking for? Draconic flex. Oh, man, I can't see it for looking. Draconic awaken. Give me a sec, I'll find it. Well, there we go. As soon as I cut, awakened draconian block tells me to look at the dragon heart page. So dragon heart is what I should be looking for. There we go. Drop by the ender dragon and draconic dragon. It is your belief that this immensely powerful item may hold the key to unlocking the true power of draconium using an ancient ritual known as the Ritual of Awakening. Drop a dragon heart on the ground and activate it with an explosion. Drop 4 to 16 cores on the ground near it. Okay, it'll suck them in. And then place 1 to 4 charged draconian blocks. So that's what we're getting the charged draconian blocks for. We need 4 of them. So what we need, you charged, yep. Let's get our 4 from the go. So we need a few more things here. We're going to need a bit of obsidian. Let's go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 obsidian. We want our dragon heart, which should be in here. There it is. Sweet. We need a bit of dynamite. Should be able to make a bit of dynamite. What? TNT, idiot. Since when has it ever been called dynamite? TNT. Boom. and of course a lever, which I bet I ain't got any levers, and I've got no cobble in my system. I'm really failing at getting this thing sorted out. So much to do, so much to do. That needs to be in a cell of its own, you see. Stick. That is of course to trigger the TNT. There we go. So now back to Draconic. I need 16. Is the 16 thingy cores, one of the ones with diamonds in. Dragon Heart. 416 Draconic cores. Let's make sure we do the right one. Draconic cores are them ones, yeah. So I want 16 of them. Yes, so a stack of them. Not going to be useful, are they? Not like I'm not going to use them. 16 of them. We get our fourth one of them. We should be good to go. Okay, we've got 4 of them. Nice one. And I want to do this somewhere kind of safe, so I'm going to sleep. Don't want to blow things up too much. I think I'll be pretty safe doing it up on my roof, but I'll do it down here. There's mobs everywhere. Screw doing it down there. Christ, it's like a mob farm. Okay, let's go back up here. It might cause a little bit of collateral damage, but it's nothing I can't repair. Let's do it in one of these empty rooms. Here we go. So I'm going to place down them 9, right? Now what I want to do is what I want to do is not panic, right? Drop a dragon out on the ground, activate it with an explosion, right? So that's the first thing we need to do. So TNT, put a dragon out there. I'm going to activate it with an explosion. Right, it's a bit noisy in my house a minute, so I'm just going to cut for a second. Be right back. Mini drama dealt with, collapsing clothes rack with drying clothes on it. So yeah, okay. So I'll take my ring of magnetisation off. I chuck that down there. Right, so is maybe while I cut, I should have maybe saved my well just in case this all goes massively tits up. What I want to do is, right, I did do this in a test world a while back, but you know, I activate that. That activates that guy. Oh, I broke some stuff. Oh shit, I broke loads of stuff. Oh no. What I need to do is chuck them 16 into there, elite them up, and then what I need to do is place them 4 around it. Oh man, I just wrote. Oh, look at the fucking mess I've made. Oh dear. And there we go. We have got 4 draconic blocks. Oh man, what have we done with this? Oh Christ! It's right where the power line was and everything. Right, I guess I've got a bit of repair work to do. Urgh. Okay, the only actual damage done was 4 spatial pylons, which I'm just going to remake. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, and 1 Tyrian block. 2 Tyrian blocks were destroyed. So not as bad as it could have been. As if I didn't expect the explosion to go forwards. That's my massive lack of vanilla knowledge going on there. Yeah, brilliant. So 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. Reminds me actually, just the fact that I was using. There we go. I think that's back how it was. I'll have to check on a previous video and make sure I've not missed anything out there. So what I've got now is 4 of these. Quickly before we get on with this, the video's about 50 minutes I think, so I've got like at least 5 minutes left I reckon. That's reminded me, looking at Fluix, the one thing the bees cannot make me is Fluix. Fluix dust, pure Fluix. So obviously that comes from Fluix dust. Fluix dust, of course, comes from grinding Fluix crystal, which comes from charred Certus quartz. And because the quartz I'll be getting from now on from the bees is in dust form, so the bees, these things actually give, of course, what's that there? Extra tick, okay. These things give Certus quartz dust. Then I won't be having any normal Certus quartz to change into charged. So I do actually need to keep some. So what I've got is I've just got 64 normal Certus. Everything else now has been made into dust. I've got 64 normal Certus there, which will be held back to put through the charger. But before we put it through the charger, I'm going to have to set up the Thaumcraft thing to duplicate the quartz. So we will need to do the Thaumcraft thing. I think that's been in my to-do list here. So to add Tesseract Unlimited Power. Thank you for that comment. I didn't realise. So coming all the way back here. Bees. Let's tick bees. Status doubling. Right back to page 1. We will have to do this because that's the only way I'm going to be able to get Fluix. By doubling normal status, then charging it in the charger, then turning it into Fluix. So yeah, we will have to do that still. So that's all cool. Gives me a reason to do that, which is nice. So Draconic then. First thing I'm going to make with this is Draconic Axe. I kind of would like some of the other stuff. We'll see how many of these we can make. So what I've got now is 4 awakened draconian blocks, which we can turn into ingots. I don't need any blocks for that, do I? No blocks there. No blocks there. Okay, so I can turn all this into ingots. Gives you 36. Let's go with this then. I want a stick. I hate the fact that that's not in stacks. I shall have to change that really quick. One of them, and so that's 4 of them. It's 4 nether stars. Wonderful. 1, 2, 3, 4. Christ, these are expensive. 4 of them. Combine one of them gets me an awakened core. So it's just to get a bit of oak. Brilliant, isn't it? Wyvern core. I need another one of them. So there's 5 of my 6 nether stars gone. That should let me. Oh no, what's in these? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them was it? 4 of them, yeah. Around that gets me energy core. I think we're there. Woohoo! I've got a Draconic Axe. Awesome. Draconic Axe. Yeah. Let's bang that in there. You see how quickly that'll charge up. So that is holding 10 million RF, and it's going up nice and fast. There we go. And what I guess I need to do now is see what enchanting books we've got for this, because we're going to want it enchanting, of course. Oh, get off. I've got no books at all made. I thought I had a chest with some books in. Oh, what's up here? Ooh. Come here, clipboard. Sharpness, infinity, so but I've got nothing there. Okay, I guess this is going to want. Let's have a look. Now, was it C? No. What was the button to press to get into the menu? Has it changed? I thought it was C. So give me a second while I work out what to do next. Okay, I'm failing a little bit here. I can't seem to find. Before we had a button that puts things into the inventory of this, and I can't see anything on the site. The changelog on the Draconic Evolution site is not actually updated to the version we're on. We're on version 1.0.0, and the changelog still for version 0.9.5 beta. So it looks like that may have been taken out. The only thing I can see in controls regarding Draconic Evolution is place items in world. It's P. Where is it? I'm not going to find it now, am I? I'm not going to find it now that I want to look for it on camera. There it is. Place item in world. So there's no button, it seems. So I maybe just enchant these like a normal thing these days. So there we go. Anyway, let's go chop down a tree, and then I'll wrap the episode up. Have I got enough stuff to upgrade that as well? No. need more nether stars. So I have to set up my wither killer again. So there's a lot of oak trees. Let's smash these oak trees, please. So what do I do if I no shift right click or anything on this? If I shift right click, single block or 3x3. So yeah, it looks like it's changed it. So that's all good. At least I know. Okay, so I hit the bottom one. And it's not like it needs enchanting at all, is it? Because let me put my ring back on. Make things a bit easier. Oh, look at that. I don't hit the wood. I hit the leaves. Boom. Nice. There we go. We have got a nice fast. Awesome. Draconic Evolution pick. Axe. So what I shall do then between episodes, I guess I'll get Yeah, it works miles quicker if you hit the leaves than the logs. It's cutting me down logs, won't it, when I hit the leaves? I hope. 15. Yep, so that's definitely working. Very nice, there we go. We've got a nice Draconic Axe. Excellent. I shall work on getting more nether stars between episodes. Got 25 of them, so what do we have? 36? So I don't use many of them, have I? What I guess I'll be working towards, ultimately, is this thing. Draconic Staff of Power, which uses the shovel, the pick, and the sword all together with another awakening core. So, is that going to be like 5, 10, 15, 20 odd with the stars, other stars? Anyway, I'm going to wrap up there. Thank you as always for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I hope I see you next time. Cheers. Bye.